Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Love Island USA Season 6 reunion recap with your faves. It's Reality Unloaded podcast, and it's your girl, Keeks.
I'm Lina.
And I'm Brennan.
And again, welcome to the recap and review of the reunion, whatever little bit it was. Honestly, I want my time back. I want my money for Peacock back. It was a letdown for what a wonderful
was
season it was.
that? Yeah.
What in the hell was that reunion, y'all? Honestly, it's not even really
And the
going to
fact that and the fact that they made us wait that long for that, I was just like, okay.
And the promises that were not delivered, like, what is going on? And yeah, like you were saying, Keeks, for such a good season.
And we're not alone in that. The cast also feels like that. Like, I saw a video of Liv and Kaylor, not Liv and Kaylor, Kaylor and Janae, and pretty much they were confused by the edit as well. So I can only imagine how many of the other cast mirror their sentiments. It was a very weird editing. It was disappointing. It could have been an email, it could have been a text, it could have been a Teams message. Honestly, it was just too weird. There were so many things that we missed, so many things that were left unaddressed. There were some things that were addressed that shouldn't have been addressed on camera. Some things that didn't really matter to be addressed. It was a lot. A lot and nothing at all at the same time. a whole lot of nothing.
A lot of nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
A whole lot of nothing. And what's crazy about it is because for those that don't know, so the reunion was filmed last week, either Thursday or Wednesday in New York City at the Chelsea Studios. And it was filmed for 11 hours. So the fact that this is what we got for 11 hours is insane, guys. Like, again, I'm just very disappointed. But first and foremost, I want to start off by blaming production. I'm going to keep blaming. I'm going to whack them all through this live, to be quite honest. But I really want to whack them for that horrible seating arrangement. What is that bench seating? Why did they do that? They had people looking back behind them just to see, like, to talk to other people. I did not like that. I was really disappointed. I really wanted it to be similar to, let's say, obviously, like the iconic Real Housewives arrangement, which everybody loves. But even like Love and Hip Hop has had better seating arrangements where, like, the
or
supporting...
even like the challenge, since they have as many people, pretty much, like, you know how the host is literally dead center and then they're apart. I feel like since Ariana was there with them, she kind of got lost in the group.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Yeah. Man, wow. This live is probably not even going to be that long because there's only like 4 major things that happened that we saw, even though we got told through interviews and podcasts that the cast members did, that there was a lot of drama, there was a lot of things addressed, but we didn't get to see it, unfortunately. And I do think that part of it is to the fact that many of the, I guess, supporting cast members, you could say, right, thank you, Lindy, the reunion was high quality garbage from start to finish. Absolutely, straight basura. And yeah, I would assume that because a lot of the cast members were complaining about the hate that they were receiving, that may be why that things were cut the way that they were, but they could have left all of it in the editing floor if that was the case. Additionally, a lot of fans were under the impression we were going to get 2 parts, but we were only given 1 hour and 20 minutes. It just, again, it fell short. But let's start off with Ariana, obviously, being reunited with the cast, and then she brings in the top 4, and I was like, okay, great. Like, we've been following our little Sims after the villa, to be quite honest. We've been keeping up with PPG and PPGM, and I was very happy to see them. How do you feel about anybody's looks overall? Like, is there anybody that stood out to you couple wise, or just in general, like how they were dressed? Because some people, they looked really good.
Serena looked fabulous. Like,
She
my
did.
girl came out. She looked great. The hair, the outfit, I loved it. I mean, she to me stole the show with her look. I thought she looked great.
Same.
I'm gonna have to give it to my girl Janae. Like, I'm sorry. I saw her come through and I was like, oh my God. Like, her team, whoever helped her out with the look, the hair, the makeup, everything, she looked like a doll.
Yeah.
I mean, she
Nene
is the
is a
doll.
beauty.
So
Yeah, no,
she's a
they did
beauty.
look great. They did look great. Serena and Janae, they look beautiful. Another one, I'm not gonna hold you. Miss Catherine, she looks so good with that hair. I said, yes,
She
don't ever do that slick. But again,
did.
she's so good with them bundles. I said, okay.
Yes.
She
I
looked
completely.
amazing. And even Daya, she looked really pretty. I didn't really like the dress, but she looked very pretty. In general, like, hey, oh, and surprisingly enough, I'm gonna say it, even though we're gonna whack him a little bit, a lot. Aaron, you may have
Aaron,
been the
yes.
best dressed out of the men, to
Yes.
be quite
Mhm.
honest. You were
Correct.
He
definitely the
definitely
best
said
dressed.
let me show you guys I'm from the UK because he pulled out
Yeah. Rob
that
Yeah.
was
suit.
boring. I was like, Rob, give us
When isn't he?
something. I
When
know, but at
isn't
least
Rob
for a
Boring?
damn reunion, bring something cute. Like,
I
God
feel
gave
like
you the look.
he was playing to his like character, his aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't expect him to dress up at all.
Rob is
Okay,
so Brat Pack coded. It doesn't he
a
remind
little
you of like the Brat Pack from the 80s? Like he feels like one of those guys.
Very much
well,
so.
you could show up.
Right. But anyway, so we get to the reunion. This starts. Ariana, she introduces everybody. She brings in the top four. And then we get straight right into it. And one of those moments that comes up is obviously the conversation between Kendall and Nicole. And I do want to bring this up early on because I feel like this is going to be one of those big conversations. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts as to, the conversation between Kendall and Nicole. How did y'all feel about it?
I'll start it off. I think so. The problem is because I'm sure there was a lot to address between the both of them, but I feel like they should have had a game plan coming on into the reunion, have a little side talk. If she had feelings about what was happening with him and that whole situation, they should have been addressed beforehand, and maybe just like again figure out a game plan so that they don't look the way they looked at the reunion. But also, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I just want to offer backstory. For those that don't know, I mean, I'm sure y'all know now. But on the night of the finale or the day of the finale, like of the show, Kendall's nudes were leaked. And it was literally like they had just gotten their phones back. So imagine coming out of the villa, being there from the very start, being sequestered. I think it was like maybe like 10 weeks pretty much without having your phone, and you come back and your nudes are everywhere. So there was that. And apparently, according to Nicole, or based on what Nicole said on the Vile podcast, which she did, and so did Kendall, they did their own separate interviews. They did have a conversation, and he let her know to not bring it up. But she decided upon herself to still bring it up, which is why I'm going to express how I feel shortly after Lina
So
shares
with
what she
that, with that point was my next point. I think she made the whole thing about herself and her feelings, and she really didn't take his feelings into account. And granted, like I'm sure didn't treat her the best way possible. Her feelings are valid, but again, she made it into a woe is me situation for her. Like, and to me, it was really off putting. I didn't expect her to be that way after watching her all those weeks in the villa, but I don't know, people's true colors come out.
Yeah. What about you, Lina? How did you feel about that conversation?
I definitely felt very cringy. And like to me, like you can tell from the energy of the girls, they're a girl pack, right? Like if it was something where Kendall and her had not spoken about it, I feel like the girls would have came at Kendall. But I felt throughout the discussion, they were basically telling her like he's trying to like apologize. He's owning up to the mistake. Like So for them to kind of support Kendall, you can tell there was another backstory that wasn't really being revealed in the reunion. And that, not that she was playing a victim role, because I never want to say that she didn't kind of, she had to have gone through her own hate. She absolutely was dealing with her own emotions, and I definitely see that. But I felt like the way it was handled, I agree. Not that I want it to have been rehearsed, but I think that the way that the discussion played out was very much not like a united front. She really wanted the attention to be on her, and she wanted everyone to villainize Kendall. And I think in his own regards, it happened before he came on the show, number one. And number two, yes, he lied, but he's trying to make amends. Like, when are you going to kind of hear it out as well? So
Yes,
yeah, no,
and
Lindy, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely a
yes.
traumatic experience.
Yes, and I also want to emphasize that, and I want to whack production about this. I think they failed to protect Kendall, and let's, for those that don't know, this also happened to Rob a few days later. So I feel like because it also happened to Rob, that like they should have taken this opportunity to address how traumatizing, how this was sexual assault, sexual harassment, it's revenge porn, and it should not ever happen to anybody, regardless of who the video or the pictures were sent to. It doesn't matter the recipient. What matters is at the end of the day, Kendall was sexually violated. And I felt like production did a poor job at emphasizing the importance of that and acknowledging Kendall's feelings in that. And I didn't like the fact that Ariana just let that conversation go as long as it did. And I don't even like to defend Kendall, guys. Like, Kendall has so much he needs to work on. I feel like he is just as calculated and he can be as vindictive as Nicole. We saw it, right, in the season where, like, in the dance challenge or whatever, he like stepped away because of how she felt, or her trying to mess or figure out if she had any sort of connection with Miguel.
Yeah.
Right. And she called out on it. But I also feel like she was just as vindictive in this moment as well, because before going into the reunion, apparently, like, on the red carpet of the reunion, they were asking the cast, like, who's gonna do their big one, and a lot of them said Nicole's gonna do her big one. And then on top of that, when she was questioned about her relationship status with Kendall, she said that they are still together, but she doesn't know for how long, something along those lines. And then for us to then find out through this podcast that she did through Vile Files, that they had a conversation and he asked her not to address it, and she still did, just shows to me that she was very calculated in this. And that's
a slap in the face.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that out of Nicole, to be quite honest. And I felt like they could have came into this reunion broken up and would have had a better outcome. And clearly, from what the rest of the cast and even Kendall was saying, he's like, I tried giving you space. I tried like reaching out to you. I tried going to you. I tried bringing you to me to have these conversations, but you were not willing. So what else can he do at that point but respect the fact that you want your space? And to be quite honest, Nicole, I didn't know you was getting hate like that. Question, I can believe that for sure. But hate, I'm surprised because of the fact that, not saying that you didn't, because she most likely did. You know, I'm not going to negate that. So has so many of the cast members. But I was just very surprised by that, because I was like, he was getting hate even more.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting hate before the season ended because of his microaggressions for being a messy ass man, you know, in the villa and such.
Very messy.
I was just like, I felt really bad for Kendall. And you could tell that he was literally about to have a panic attack when she brought everything up.
Well, even when he started talking and Aaron was like, breathe, Kendall, because like you could tell he was like, he was taken off guard that it was brought up. And to be honest, production should have told her from the beginning, that's not a conversation we're going to bring up. Like that should be off the board. It had nothing to do with the show. And I agree. Definitely sexual trauma. Like, you don't know what he's going through.
And I want to address
inappropriate.
I also want to address this. the way that Nicole framed the question, it also has led to people speculating Kendall's sexuality. Let me just say that is root in
Why?
homophobia. Y'all,
Yeah.
again, it doesn't matter who the hell is the recipient of those photographs, those videos, whatever. That was Kendall's business, and for whoever was supposed to receive that, nobody else.
I feel like that's why she is so mad at the fact that these videos came out, because he's doing that and she's questioning it like, are you even straight? Like, you know, so I think she's more offended by it than everyone else is, to be honest.
Right.
That's
right.
crazy to me. That is crazy. That is your
but it's
time,
a conversation.
But it is your time, if anything, to be the most compassionate. Because if you truly love him, if you genuinely love him and you didn't break up with him at this point, because I'm sorry, now it's been out for a minute. If you did not break up with him at this point, that means you are giving the green light that we're trying to work on it, then work on it. Be genuine
they broke up
about it.
They broke up. He broke up with her.
Well, now I know he broke up with her,
Yeah.
but I'm saying at that moment you should have been genuine, because if you really cared, especially if it might be his coming out story, like, really, like, that's disgusting.
No, and then another thing, you know, like, aside from her, you know, she said that she felt like she was lied to. She feels like it was somebody that he dealt with, that he was dealing with prior to coming inside of the villa and everything, which I'm also like, okay, but sis, you didn't know him before then. So it's also like, what do you want us to do here? And honestly, Nicole, if you wasn't getting hate before this, you are now. You are now, because that was not a good showing. Again, I just feel like it was not a conversation that should have been brought up. And yes, Lindy, not even loved him. If you cared about him, she wouldn't have brought up his trauma and been supportive. Absolutely. And granted, we don't know everything. We don't know what else Kendall has lied about. However, it's just like, Nicole,
it's still not right.
Like you centered yourself in that moment, and it was not right for you to bring that up, especially if y'all had a conversation and he said, please don't bring it up for that specific reason. Because that's just opening up a wound. Like, it just felt really wrong in that moment.
And again, I think the house is such, like, they're girls, like, they would have backed her up. And I just think, like, the way the reaction of the entire cast was, it really made you feel like, okay, she's crossing a line. Like, there's more to the story that is not being revealed right now.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. But and I do want to reiterate or say this, but, like, please don't send any of these people hate. Like, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what has been done by either of the cast members, even the ones that we don't really are fond of, do not go out there and send them hate. There have been other people from Love Island, the franchise in general, that have passed away, unfortunately, due to hate that they've received in the past. So please, let's refrain that from happening. Let's make sure that we do our part and just, like, support the ones that you love and keep it pushing for the ones that you don't give a fuck about. Like,
you can have opinions about people, but then you cross the line when you're bullying, and you don't want to do all that. So,
and I think, like, even the reunion kind of made that point. Like, these aren't characters. They are people. They have families. They have feelings. Like, just like if you were to come on and get the hate, these are people too. So it's definitely show the love before the hate.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on from the Nicole and Kendall situation. Oh, real quick, we did mention it that they clearly broke up. Nicole was the one to put it out first, even though Kendall broke up with her, and made sure to make it clear in her IG story that he broke up with her. And I said, here you go, dragging him down again. Like, she is not letting him live at all. So it is what it is. So moving on from that, we get to also see pretty much Andrea get addressed by the girls from the cast. And please, Brandon, take it away. How did you feel about the conversation with Andrea?
Why did we even spend that much time on Andrea? Like, why? The girl, to me, I'm sorry, was not a main character. I'll call them characters. She wasn't a main character in the show, right? So she's again, another Nicole making the situation about herself, like, oh, nobody liked me and blah blah blah, and she starts crying, whatever. Granted, you're you can have your feelings, but when all the girls are literally saying like, no, like, you treated me a certain type of way, this is why we voted you out, and it is what it is. And when my girl Janae pulled out the receipts, she was like actually on page 4, I think it was.
On page 4 in the After Sun, you called her Two-Face. Why did you call Leah Two-Face? And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. Also, Janae, you should have hosted that reunion.
Period.
At this point,
she would have been.
Period.
You would have been perfect to host.
When I tell you that when she was pulling up the receipts, that was the best part of this reunion.
And she had nothing to say. She was just like
nothing. It was so good. I am happy it was brought up though, because I think it cleared a lot of Leah's name, because I think a lot of the tweets that we saw centered around like hate towards Leah was around the whole Andrea thing. So I am very happy that they cleared it up. I'm happy that they even showed the scene when the girls were talking around the fire pit to eliminate Andrea. I definitely don't think they need to show the whole damn scene, because that was boring and it dragged, but at least I think it cleared Leah. And I'm sorry, it also showed kind of a different side of Liv, where I felt like she was playing a little bit innocent during the season about the whole fire pit thing. And I think she had more of a vocal say to me.
She was the person that led the whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
It, but I don't think she said that she wasn't involved ever.
I feel like
she didn't say she wasn't involved, but during the season, she made it seem like she was part of the
like
conversation.
Leah.
But I think that really Liv was the one who led it and put the thought in the head to send Andrea home.
But remember, Liv didn't vote Andrea. Liv did not vote Andrea.
She didn't?
No, she voted. She was the only one that voted Nicole.
Oh, I thought they all voted Andrea. No, they were doing the numbers.
It was majority rules, but she was the only one that voted Nicole. So,
well, either way, she was leading the chart that night.
No, yeah, she was facilitating the conversation, but I'm not surprised by that, because I feel like that's Liv's personality. But yes, I agree with you. I don't think that it should have been shown that much. I was actually pissed about that whole fire pit scene. But before we get there, I meant more towards of like, obviously Leah addressing Andrea, because Andrea was talking so much all over TikTok, obviously like After Sun, etc. It was just too much. Yeah, Lindy, they didn't need to show it on the episode. They could have released the footage on Instagram or something. Absolutely. And that just goes to show they could have showed that at movie night. Why didn't they show it at movie night, since it was such a huge conversation?
Exactly. Like, they almost made it seem like it was going to be this big reveal.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't. I almost wish that Leah did run the whole conversation and turn it against Rob and Andrea, so that it was actually worth the wait. But it was really nothing.
I had to literally ask Lina earlier today, what was the conclusion of that? Because I started tuning out after about around 3 minutes. It was just like chatter.
No, yeah, exactly. It felt like it was so dragged out and whatever. But I'm glad that Leah addressed her. I'm glad that Janae obviously pulled out her receipts to make sure, like, why did you call Leah Two-Face? And Janae, I don't know if I want you to release all 4 pages or however many pages of notes you had, which is so funny because Janae literally only watched till episode 10, guys. She hadn't even watched the full season. So the fact that she had that many notes is freaking hilarious. But yeah, it was bad. Like, I was just over it. I was like, Andrea, you went home and nobody likes you. And Rob don't like you.
No, and then Nene ended the conversation with leave Leah's name out your mouth, period. Like that like closed it. Like, that's my girl. I was like, yes.
Period. Does. I mean, I just found it funny how like the girls that were talking crap, like the Casa girls, like they were going on social media saying what they needed to say, shading the girls and everything. And then when it came to getting addressed, they were real quiet. You know, Andrea's over here like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that, you know, and I'm sorry and whatever. But like, you were clearly saying enough, and you must have been expressing yourself very well to your friends, because your friends were also trashing Leah.
Can we address those Casa girls? Because I have a bone.
Go ahead, because there's only one of them that I really respect.
Why?
Not respect. I respect all of them, but
who? Which one?
No, I mean the only one that really hasn't caused any issues is Catherine. Catherine
Yeah, I
said,
knew you were going to say Catherine. And she was good.
I mean,
like
she was barely on the show.
Her...
So.
No, I know, but she got out of the show. Her mom was talking reckless, apparently, and she checked her mom. She literally spoke highly of Kenny and Janae. She literally was like, I got so close with Janae. Like, I love her, all these things. And she sat there looking great.
Yeah.
She was a nomad.
I feel like production overall treated the situation with the Casa girls better than the Kendall situation, to be honest. Yes. I don't know why they were giving so much focal points to these girls. Like, I was confused because I don't think they were a major part of the show, but
well, to me it was a pivotal moment. Like, Casa was I don't act out of emotions. I'll try, girl, bye. But
right.
I think the Casa moment was definitely pivotal to the season because it kind of put a flip with. So yes, they definitely needed to have a say. I agree. I think that they had a lot to say off the show, and then they came kind of like, oh, we had so much respect for the OGs. But they couldn't say it to anyone's face. Exactly. Yeah, that was to me very kind of sketchy.
It was giving scared.
Don't move like that.
Yes,
period.
For sure. And maybe they said more. Remember, we only saw an hour and 20 minutes of 11 hours of filming. And apparently a lot of things did go down, but we didn't see any of it. And there were so many other people, even people that weren't just the bombshells in general. We didn't see Janae whack Moto, Connor. We didn't see her whack him, and he deserved to be whacked for all the shit he was talking about Nene. Coy decided to jump in and say, "Oh, I'm sorry for what I said," out of nowhere.
Can we?
That I felt like was strategic.
That was so planned. I was like, cut it out. If you really genuinely wanted to apologize to Nene and Kenny, it should not have been on air. The fact that you just blurted that apology, awkward as hell. I didn't even know what was happening. I was like, sir, who are you again? When were you on the show?
I think it's also because, and I'm gonna give these people the benefit of the doubt, all of them, because some of them are very green to being in reality TV. I do feel like some things you don't need to tell the world. You can handle it on the side, and there are some things you could do on the side. You don't need to literally make everything. Your whole entire life reality TV for everyone to follow. And I feel like that's what a lot of these people were doing.
I will say I'm glad that Coy apologized, because really the main one that should have been apologizing was Connor's ass. Aaron, Andrea. I felt like, there were a couple of people that should have been apologizing. Hakeem, irrelevant. Nigel, irrelevant. Like, what? There were so many people that were there. I was like, why were y'all there? No.
He literally talked about eating pizza at home.
Right. Harrison, why did they fly you out for no reason? Because
wait. Harrison looked. He was nice to look at. He looked.
Good.
I was gonna say the same thing. We'll give Harrison that.
Where did you look at Harrison? Because we only saw him when he was went to the back room. Where did you see Harrison?
Well, I guess there. Well, he looked good in the back room.
I'm dead, Lindy. Yes, yo. No, Nigel was ashy as fuck. Oh my god, I feel so bad. But Nigel, bro, come on. I hope you had some Aquaphor, like something. Why were you so ashy, my guy? Oh my god,
I missed it. I didn't see the ash.
He was ashy. No, I guess it's from the photos of the pink carpet that they had. He was so ashy. He could literally start a fire with his ashy ass feet and hands. It was crazy.
Well, Lindy, thank you for all these great comments.
Yes, thank you, Lindy. You you're my girl. Or wait, I have to do the heart. How they do it? It's the.
Oh, I couldn't even do it.
This is the millennial heart, right? This is the
millennial heart.
They do it like this.
Oh yeah.
I can't even do it. It's so weird. They're like, but anyway,
I can't even get my fingers to like bend in that direction.
We're not used to it. But then okay, so moving on from Andrea getting whacked, rightfully so. We get to have the conversation between Kaylor and Aaron. And pretty much in this conversation, they let us know it's over. But previously, a few days, because the cast has been in New York for a few days, or they weren't in New York City for a few days prior to the reunion, Aaron and her saw each other for the first time since they left Fiji. And pretty much Aaron he wasn't honest with her. She clearly was awaiting for him to share his thoughts, obviously address certain things that were done while he was in Casa. And he didn't take that opportunity because it was their first time reuniting. He didn't want to ruin the vibe. Obviously, he was also apparently grieving the loss of his relative, his grandfather or grandmother, I believe. But then he says it on, he decides to say it on camera, you know, yeah, I did have my hands down Daniela's pants.
Sir.
So Kaylor decides to let him have it.
Okay, hold on really quick. Because I do think Kaylor did a great job of defending herself and putting her foot down. My only thing is, we forgave him already. This happened. You took him back. It was fine.
But we didn't have the whole story.
But does it really matter at that point? Because you took the guy back. Like, it's just gonna be the whole same situation. Like, I don't. I think it was just a little bit.
Everything.
Yeah, you don't have the whole story.
Literally. But she did that on the show too when she found out something else and she got mad again. And like, it's just a whole cycle for me personally. I think if you forgave the guy and you put it to bed, just put it to bed at that point.
You know what it is though? I think like it's fair when you're kind of in this like house together, you know, you're like stuck to each other. You see each other all the time. Emotions are strong. They're fresh. They're new. I can understand kind of that cycle of just wanting to forgive them. They're your comfort zone. But why would you reveal that on air? Like, if you were with her for 2 days prior, like, why would you not at least prep her or give her a heads up that you're going to bring out the truth on air? Like, to me, no, like, that's not forgivable. Like, now you're just trying to embarrass me.
Again. I think that was her biggest gripe, Brandon. Like, you had the opportunity to tell me when we were already together in private, and now you decide to be honest now all of a sudden when the cameras are there, and it also just feels opportunistic on Aaron's part. So I do understand where she's frustrated and she's just like, what the hell? Like, and then I freaking love Liv, bro. Like, I love Liv so much. Liv said, obviously after Kaylor lets Aaron have it, and she's like, I don't even want to sit next to you. Like, can we switch? And then he's like, I should have been honest. Yeah, I should have been honest, blah, blah, all this stuff. And then she's going to be like, when are your balls going to drop? And I was like, yes, I love it. Lindy, she took him back on what she knew at the time. He was still lying in the villa. And that's the other thing, too. He was not being honest. And in fact, like, they had even done a podcast together where she's like, I'm starting to reflect, like, he did me dirty. I'm starting to see people are sending me stuff. My family is over here telling me things. Like, I'm kind of like taken aback by his behavior. And yes, Aaron did do the same thing as Nicole. Like, you had the opportunity to communicate these things prior to coming to the reunion, so it wouldn't embarrass both of y'all, because y'all both, like, everybody looks crazy. Like, Aaron, you look crazy doing that. Especially that you're older. I think you're like 27, 28, moving like that towards Kaylor. And Nicole, like, you also looked crazy too, dropping that. Like, I don't know. And then to use like, oh, I was going through this and blah, blah. Like, everybody goes through things. Hurt people, but like, that doesn't mean that people have to be okay with what you're doing.
And I mean, yes, I don't want to make that an excuse though. But Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, he was going through
have
something
sympathy.
after his actions, though. Like, so should she not be mad because somebody in your family passed?
But we don't know.
And
We don't know if he was sick or something, and I don't know.
so
But
because your
question.
family member is sick, that gives you the okay to put your hands in someone's
Well, we
hands.
don't.
No,
we
not
don't-
that.
No.
Like,
No.
you're
Oh.
confused, Lina.
Oh yeah, I am. Because I'm ready to
Brandon,
chop her
clarify.
head off.
We're talking about afterwards, like once that whole situation happened, and he was saying, "Well, you know, I had this happen with my grandfather." I don't know. All I'm saying is we really don't know what he was going through, so I don't want to say he was using it as an excuse. But at the end of the day, he's still a grown man, so
Yeah.
he
And I
could have
just think-
chose wiser actions.
I just think there was too many opportunities, to be honest. Like, it didn't happen after the show. It happened, you know, at Casa. So there was just so many opportunities, to be honest.
Yes.
That to really, you know, say that you were going through something, I completely understand. And my deepest sympathies to his loss. Like, you know, my condolences, absolutely no hate towards that. But I think that, you know, there's a fine line between, you know, using something as an excuse to get away with it and having accountability. And I'm sorry, Aaron, you had way too many opportunities to now tell me that a family loss is the reason why you kept lying. So to me, it's not good enough, you know, especially if you're saying you loved her, you cared about her, you put this whole show on the entire season. Like, you literally stopped her from, well, I mean, it was her choice, but she literally did not pursue anybody else because she was so invested in that.
And he also said that while he was going through that, he didn't hear from her, and she clarified. She said, "No, I did reach out to you. I did make sure you were okay." But he kind of, again, I agree with you. He used it as a way to like say his actions were forgivable.
Valid. We're valid. Right. So yeah, so we see Aaron get dragged, you know, Liv lets him have it, which I live for. Rightfully so. And then we move on to pretty much the final big thing, which is the fire pit conversation, which we already touched upon. It was dragged out for way too long. They could have used those 15-20 minutes to touch on PPGM, obviously the winners. Like, I feel like Serena and Cordell got no shine. We also saw that clearly PPG and PPGM made it official. And from what we see on social media, or what we've seen from social media, Serena, Cordell, their the night that they made it official, that was filmed by Peacock. And so was the date between Nene and Kenny. So it's just like, why wasn't a little clip shown? Why didn't we get unseen bits? Why didn't we get funny moments? It just felt like petty drama that got dragged out through the entire reunion, and there was like nothing fun about it. Like, I think one of
there
the
was no
funniest,
substance.
no substance, and it just felt like, okay, like, you guys called it like Friendship Island, right? Like, a lot of them kept saying it's like Friendship Island, but we didn't get to see like the joy or the fun moments that they had, and they had plenty that they did show. Like, there were so many endearing moments between the groups in the villa, and I just hate that we didn't get more of that in the reunion. What were you gonna say, Brandon?
I'm gonna be excuse me. I'm gonna be optimistic and say we didn't get those bits because what they're doing is creating a show with all 6 of them that we're gonna get in the future. So Peacock, listen to us.
Okay, cute.
But
I
listen, shout out to Cordell and his Cheez-It deal. Yes, Cheez-It.
Cheez-It. No. Let's talk about it. Cheez-It pattern, a pattern partner with Tracy Ellis Ross's hair care line, and then
fabulous.
Serena got Sacred. Okay, Beyonce knows my girl. I don't care what nobody says. It may be her social team, whatever, but Beyonce knows my girl. She was in the Sacred Salon. All right. And they've been killing it. Oh my gosh. I am so proud of Serena and Cordell. They did so amazing. Yeah, like, screw the fire pit conversation, because at the end of the day, I don't really care. Andrea was going home. We don't care. Like, nothing really relevant came out of that, aside from the fact that, like, everybody was chiming in, Liv was the main one facilitating the convo. It clearly took them a long time to get to that decision because they didn't want anybody to go home. That is a hard decision to make, especially in a small amount of time. But honestly, I just felt like it was too much time dedicated to that, and the reunion fell flat because of how much time was focused on that conversation. Like, it should have just been clipped up a little bit, or like we mentioned, it could have been shown at movie night.
Yeah, and just touching back on the sponsorships, if Rihanna doesn't pull them for Fenty, I'm gonna be very mad.
Oh, she should.
The PPG girls, yes. Or even all 6 of them. Do all 6 of them. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
They should.
Listen, they have so many things lined up. I'm just so proud of them. And in general, like, there's a lot of, like, I hope that everybody capitalizes on their appearance on the show. And, you know, can start making bank. Like, come on, chase these bags, y'all. Like, do what y'all gotta do. Yes, Janae was never in their mind for going home. I love that. They said, no, Janae's not going home. They were literally about to start crying. They're like, oh my God, no. Janae, no. Janae can't.
Leah did cry. You saw Leah like crying in the back. Yeah.
I loved it though. And so they knew it was always going to be between Nicole and Andrea. And, you know, I'm sure Andrea felt really bad, like hearing certain things that they were saying while they were having the fire pit conversation. But again, it just proved at the end of the day, like, it was a group decision and a group effort. Regardless of how you feel, it was gonna be Andrea going home, point blank, period. So let's focus on the positives, right? So obviously Serena and Cordell, they're doing well, they're together. Kenny and Janae, they are also together. Kenny shares that Janae met his mom and family members, which is so cute. Oh, another funny moment was when Ariana was like, do you guys have any, actually one of the only funny moments, do you guys have any news to share? And Janae's like, yeah, we're pregnant. And Kenny's like,
Kenny's like,
but low-key, Kenny was like, oh, okay. Like, this is my baby mama.
That would be a beautiful child. Period.
Oh, beautiful. I just love how, like, Janae is so random and funny and just dramatic. It's just hilarious. Another funny moment was them like passing the popcorn amongst themselves. PPGM. So funny. Let's see what else. Oh, and obviously Leah and Miguel also making it official. We don't see that they recorded it, but shout out to them too for making it work between them. I'm just really happy for all of them. Truthfully, really happy for PPG and PPGM. They really ate the season up, and they've been eating the postseason stuff too. Promo, press, everything. They've been holding
Leah, 3 million followers.
Yeah. I feel like what they did with the opportunity from coming out of the show is what all of the contestants need to do. They spun it in a positive way where now they basically are the show. So
and Kayla and Liv. Like, Kayla and Liv have also been outside with PPG.
Kayla and Liv too. Yes. But I think overall, like, they just need to look at how they're moving, and you know, you don't really see them doing anything negative, anything for attention. Like, they're really just in their bag right now, and I respect them. And thank you again to all of them for making the show or this season what it was, because it was really nice to see that aspect of friendship between them.
Yes. And I wish, that's why I'm so mad that like this reunion didn't highlight that more. Like, yes, we saw them defending each other, backing each other up. You know, we even see that extended amongst other, like when Serena, the conversation with Nicole and Kendall, she's like, listen, girl, like if lying to you is such a big thing, break it off. Like, you don't have to be with him. And Ariana echoed those sentiments as well. Like, Nicole, you don't have to be with Kendall if that is something, like, if you're never going to trust him again.
That's a deal breaker for you. Yeah.
It's a deal breaker. Then that's fine. And Serena was like, listen, like, I love you, Nicole. Like, if that's what you want to do, we can defend you on that. Like, we will support you in that. Don't feel like that you have to be with Kendall because you left the villa with Kendall. And clearly, you know, they're broken up now. But yeah, I do wish like they just highlighted more funny moments, like the fact that like apparently PPG would go on secret missions to like spy on people's conversations and all this stuff. The cooking moments between them, even like the guys, like they all said like they had a really strong bond in there. I also wish like there were moments where I wish we saw more of the speeches of the Casa recoupling, or like right after Casa when they came back. Apparently Serena made a line, which she said of this in a Complex interview, that she had told Cordell like, you my ex a bitch, you a bitch, y'all are twin sisters. Like I wish we would have saw that. That would have been so funny.
Serena's
what are you
witty,
gonna say,
man.
Lita?
I was gonna say, also, can we talk about, because I heard there was a lot of cooking going on. All I saw was avocado toast. So maybe a few cooking moments would have been cute, because I was like, damn, how much avocado toast can you possibly freaking eat? Because
yeah, like Cordell was making Serena
and
omelets,
eggs,
French toast,
a lot of eggs, French
like,
toast.
Don't forget the eggs.
But everything else,
waffles,
I think they get
pancakes.
catered. They get catered. Like they get like their lunch and they get a dinner or whatever. But like even the cute ass moment, right, of their final dinner where Janae was like, listen, we gonna cook. I'm the top chef here.
Yeah.
Obviously the black people, we gonna cook the chicken. Everybody else, you gotta do this, and that. So I just felt like there was a missed opportunity overall by production when it came to this reunion. I don't know if it was the same production team. I truly don't know. Maybe it's the fact that they haven't had a reunion in quite some time. I think the last reunion was season 4 or something for USA, because it's not usually something that they do. But regardless, for such a great season, this reunion was a major letdown. Major. I don't think I've heard one person say that they love the reunion.
And also just go piggybacking off of what you just said, I think it was on a different network at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes. And like I knew the reunion wasn't gonna have a live audience because they didn't have one for Traders, right? But maybe the Traders reunion was a foreshadowing of that, because there were certain conversations that should have been had during the Traders reunion that were edited out as well. However, it's just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I felt like, Ariana, I'm sorry. Like, I do like you as a host for the season, but I did not like you as a host for the reunion. I don't know if maybe
I said the same thing to Brandon, and he was like, "No, I think she did fine." I was like, "No, she should have not hosted.
She could have done better."
You know who could have hosted? It could have been Myra.
That's what I was
think
gonna
she
say.
would have asked the hard-hitting questions. Yeah.
Maybe she should have been there as well, because she was also a
Mhm.
contestant of the show for UK.
Mhm.
So I was like, maybe she should have been there with
And she never bites her
Ariana.
tongue about
Exactly.
anything. So
there was just so many things that didn't get addressed, like the heart rate challenge. Like that was such a fun challenge for them too. Like I don't like, we should have saw more footage because they was going in.
I think next time what they need to do is have a live audience and give the live audience a segment of at least like 25 minutes where they're asking the hard-hitting questions that the host might not want to ask, and really put them on the spot.
I think 25 minutes is crazy, but I definitely think that,
well, edited.
I don't know, but whatever they need to do better, because that was just really bad.
Yes, I agree with you, Lindy. They hit it out the ballpark with the season, and the reunion was so trash, so asura. Like throw it away, baby. Like it really could have been an email. It could have been a TikTok reel, whatever, if we knew that this was what we were gonna get. Yeah, I did not like it. And so many of those people, they got no airtime. Like majority of the cast that was there, they could have stayed home. They could have been zoomed in, called in, phone a friend from home, because
honestly, they could have had the final 10 and called it a day and focused on them. I didn't have to again see these Costa girls. I didn't have to see this. I don't even remember their names.
They didn't even give Miguel. They didn't even give Miguel any
right.
shine.
I didn't even hear Miguel.
That's crazy. That's true. Miguel. I didn't even realize that Miguel did not say a single word.
They didn't give Miguel no time. And again, there was already conversations happening outside of the show that like the treatment the way that Miguel has been getting treated by production has been very weird. But I just felt like for them to be the top 3 couples and to not get as much shine, or like, I don't know, like nothing came full circle. Like it was just so like somber and like negative for the most part. Like there were obviously glimmers of hope or like little moments that lifted their spirits, but for the most part it was really trash. And yes, Lindy, if you weren't in the villa for more than 5 days, you shouldn't have been there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like get the hell out of here. You're wasting time.
Honestly, more than 2 weeks at this point. I don't want to see.
Yeah, it was just too much. And again, I just didn't like the setup. I'm still mad Connor didn't get his whacking, and apparently he never apologized to Janae, which is crazy to me. I felt like the microaggressions towards the women, especially the Black women, that should have been a conversation that didn't get brought up because Aaron made his comments about Serena apparently being loud and throwing plates or whatever, and we've never seen that behavior, but we see you and Kaylor going at it, yelling at each other multiple times. Yeah, he made that comment, and then obviously the comments that were made about Serena.
They should have made me the host because I would have tore these men into.
Listen,
honestly, you should have been.
You should have been. Anybody could have been the host. Look, another person that could have been a host. Kiki Palmer would have been a great host.
Ooh,
that would have been
Kiki would have been a good host.
Okay,
she would have been a great host. Nina Parker, she's the host that does the Love and Hip Hop reunions, or she used to. She was like, she was also really good. Davon, if she watched it.
Davon, yes.
Like there were so many people.
I'm just playing.
No.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Hold on, cut us off.
We don't. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. We don't even listen to her when she's on the fucking challenge podcast. I was about to say. Anyway,
that was the point.
But yeah, in general, like it's just there were so many people that could have been better hosts or whatever. I don't know. It just felt flat, guys. Please release some unseen bits. I hope production, y'all are receiving all of this negative feedback and really reflecting as to what you guys could have improved and done better. And hopefully y'all release some unseen footage, some like lighthearted footage. Like, I don't know. You guys dropped the ball on this. It's too much.
Hire us if you guys want some help. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. You could hire us.
I'm gonna have my Cheez-Its moment, okay?
Yo, and it's so crazy. Cordell's Cheez-Its, like they're sold out already. I love that for them.
I love that for him. Yeah.
It's so good. Look at him reaching his long-term goals and whatnot. Also, it was so funny. Cordell was dozing off. Him and Kenny, they were both dozing off throughout the reunion.
I saw that. I thought he was looking at something, and then people were saying it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, no, he really."
Serena even tells him like, "Sit up."
So but you also said they were there for how many hours filming?
11 hours.
11.
I was there for an hour and a half.
11 hours.
Bullshit.
I was watching for an hour and a half about to snooze. I don't blame
Nicole censoring herself and gaslighting Kendall. Andrea getting whacked not once but twice, pretty much. Janae bringing out her notes, her infamous notes, which so housewife coded, which was one of the best parts. Obviously,
a 30-minute like fire pit scene
where I couldn't even focus on it because it was like so many cameras, and I was just like, "What is happening? Oh my god!" And yeah, that's pretty much all we got. Not even like a cue, something to. I don't know, like wrap it all up. Like she didn't even say like, "Oh, what were your favorite moments?" or something we didn't get to see, or does anybody else have anything to say, kind of thing. Like let your grievances out now, or something that you just want to like let out for everybody on cast know, or something. I don't know. It just was dry as hell, as dry as Nigel's feet and hands, y'all.
Well, hey, we turned it around. That was good. Yes.
Right, we circle back. But that's all. Do you guys have anything else y'all want to say about the reunion, about this season? Anything. Any favorite moments of yours that from the season that you want to touch on?
When Nene came out in that red lingerie for Kenny, I was like, girl, yes, all that body.
Yes. What about you, Brandon?
I think there was, you said for the season overall. I think there was, well, there's two. Obviously, I mentioned one earlier, the friendship between PPG, but there was one scene. I think they were having the lingerie party. I think that was what it was, when all the girls walked out and they literally looked like the Pussycat Dolls. I was like, these girls look good.
Yes,
that was the moment
baddies.
for me. I was
baddies. Okay, who do y'all think will still be together a year from now? I think Serena and Cordell can make it through. I think Janae and Kenny can make it through. I think they're for the long game. I think Leah and Miguel have the potential as well. I just think they're gonna struggle with the long distance a bit. I don't know if Miguel has any plans of moving to LA, because Cordell is apparently moving to LA to his own spot. And Kenny and Janae are not that far from each other distance wise. I think like it's maybe like an hour flight or so. But I am worried a little bit about Leah and Miguel, but I do hope they stay strong. What about you guys? Who do you guys think will stay together?
I agree with you. I think Leah and Miguel would be the ones to struggle. I really think like definitely Cordell and Serena are going to make it through. Like I really see them for the long game.
I think I don't think I'm worried about any of them, to be honest. Even with the long distance, I think the smart strategy of this is to stay together for at least a year, because use every opportunity that you can off of this show. Even if they have an agreement, like we're just friends, but we're gonna play it up for the cameras, do it.
Play it up.
You gotta do.
Yeah. It's a business now. It's a business now, and also you don't want the fans, the PPG fans, to turn on y'all. That's another thing. Y'all men, y'all better be on y'all best behavior, because if it comes out that one of y'all played PPG, it's over. It's
we coming for you.
Quickness. We coming for you. Don't play with them. Okay. One of my favorite moments, which is like obviously the dock scene, like. You already know. I told y'all I could quote that shit. I could quote the moment between Kenny and Janae as well. And like she said she's leaving. Like, come on. Like, shout out to she said she's leaving community, and I want Serena Dog community and the Leah Hive community on Twitter, because they've been holding me down with the clips and everything. Obviously, we've been trying to detach, but I haven't fully detached since we're covering the reunion today.
She's struggling.
I'm struggling. I love them down. Like, they're really like real life Sims, y'all. Well, they're real people, but I just love getting to know them through this time. And they're just so funny. Like they're showing like so much of their personalities that we didn't really get to see while they were on the show. But of course the doc scene where she's like, it didn't take me a week to know that it was always you. I said, yes, Serena, let him know.
That needs to be. She needs to be quoted in a movie. Like that was yes. That was honey. That's the thing. Serena is so witty. Girlfriend, you should be a writer. Like you are so witty. Like with everything that comes out of your mouth is poetry. It's perfection. Like
so good.
Well, another moment, we're being optimistic because we're gonna get the future show, and they could even add Rob in there. I'm fine with that. Like I like him now, but I think he's good comedic relief. Whatever.
Yeah,
putting it into existence. Okay.
Yeah, he could be there, I guess.
Yeah. We need fillers. That makes sense. Of course, everyone needs fillers.
Yes.
Okay.
He could, supporting cast. But another funny moment, which is a little underrated. It's like a deep cut. When Janae was kind of peeking with, I think it was with Liv, like the conversation. Oh yes, I want you. I need you. Like. Kenny, you ate that up. You ate it up, boy. Ooh.
It was her Meredith Grey moment.
You single-handedly changed the way women, let me not give you too much. You have changed some women's opinions of Dominican men from New York. I will say that for some.
I'll
For
get.
some of us.
Let's give it a few months. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Let's see. But for the most part, you are literally 1 in a billion. But moving on from that, a deep cut moment that I think is so funny was when Janae was like trying to spy on the conversation between Serena and Cordell after, like, when they were about to make it, when they were about to close off, and she's standing up and then she just drops down and she flops on the daybed, and Serena's like, Andy's coming. I thought that moment was so funny.
That was cute.
And if you obviously don't never watched Toy Story, you wouldn't get it. But it was such a funny moment. And again, just goes to show that Serena is so witty and quick on her feet.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God, I loved it. But yeah, so many quotable moments, so many like just great moments. I love the friendship. Honestly, this is going to be a season to go down in reality TV history. This is literally like Jersey Shore all over again when they first came out.
I'm sorry, can I give Keeks her flowers? Because y'all, I'm just gonna be very honest. I wasn't even gonna watch this season. Like, my girl was like, you have to watch it. Like, it's so
I will say the
good.
same thing because I was like, I'm Team Love Island UK. I think they were better than the US seasons that I've seen, but I will say I think this season of US is the top season overall.
So
of the
credit
franchise.
to my girl Keeks, because she got us on it, and it was good. Y'all, I binged it in a week. It was unhealthy. I literally watched for hours. I didn't work, like, unhealthy.
Yeah.
Tell my job.
I think it was very unhealthy. And like, listen, I'm really gonna try to detach now. After this review, I need to detach because I've just been so invested in these people's lives. Like Lina and not Lina, oh my God, Lina's here. Leah and Miguel, they were apparently close to all of us nearby.
Right by us.
They were right by us. And I was like, man, if I should have woke up from my nap earlier so we could have seen them.
I was ready to get ready and go across the street, y'all, because
right. But anyway, y'all, it's been fun. Thank you again to the cast. Y'all did that. Shout out to PPG and PPGM, Liv, Kaylor for holding it down, doing their own thing. Shout out to all the opportunities coming y'all way. We are so proud of y'all. Shout out to Serena and Cordell, the season 6 winners, rightfully so, of Love Island USA season 6. It's been great. It's been great, but it's the end of an era. And yeah, on to the next one. So thank you so much, Lindy, for tuning in and commenting with us and talking to us. We really appreciate you. Love you down. And hold on. Is it? Oh. I can't even do it.
I don't think I'm doing it right. Actually, hold on.
I'm sticking to the millennial world. I don't care.
Right.
I can't.
I'm gonna say my age.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure to engage with us. And we're actually going on to the next live. We're going to be covering the Challenge 40 episode 2. So join us there if you watch the challenge. If you don't, that's okay too.
Join us anyway. Who cares?
Join us anyway. Okay.
Laugh.
Yes, come and laugh with us. Yeah, we do. We try not to, but that's never a promise. So anyway, gotta go. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I came here for love.
Yeah.